does bring us to this overall season, and this truly has been a season to forget. Let's talk about this in entirety. There are a few talking points we have, but every time I look at the league position, every time the fact that I have to scroll down if I'm looking at it on a mobile device, and look at 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, it hurts. Yeah, it really hurts. This We've grown up and seen Manchester United team always finishing in top three, and when you see United, right at the bottom, not able to defeat teams, barely defeating relegated teams. It just goes on to show that systemically we have had issues with this club. And I really hope we can, do better. And 15th is not even a benchmark. I will probably want to erase this from our memories. I will want to start at that eighth spot that we had a couple of seasons back and improve on that. I think Amorim needs a top five, top six finish. But this season, I really want to wipe out, especially from that league position standpoint.
As a lifelong fan of United, I somewhere in during the season I stopped believing in United, that believing that we can do better. I think that same feeling seeped into some players as well, because see I could see the lack of effort in games. I could see the lack of urgency in the game. Are these just average players,
Yeah.
all around? But or or are we talking about a huge culture issue within the club? Because we've seen these same players under different managers,
Yeah.
and their seems to be going down and down and down. We don't see a lot of players improving their game year on year. We don't see the whole team improving. Like, you'd expect a team which is playing for a long time with each other, for some players to build that connections. We
Yeah.
we used to see that for Rooney and Ronaldo. Saw that with Rooney and Percy. We used to see that with say Vidic and Rio.
Yeah.
I think the last combination play I remember, some players who used to really play well with each other would be Rashford and Luke Shaw, and Rashford and Martial, maybe.
No,
Maybe.
even Ole's season, Pogba, Bruno, Marshall, Rashford, even Greenwood to some extent. I think those four, five of them. And Ole, I think all as much we have joked about the fact that he was a vibes manager, I think vibes are important for a club like Manchester United. So I think he is one of those managers who would ensure that we're doing the basics right. He may not be a great tactician where, like Guardiola, he's coming out with a new tactic every year and sort of drilling it into the players and out classing every other manager in the league. But he did some of those things right. And also over the course of last 2 3 years especially, we haven't really got lucky as well with maybe injuries, maybe a few transfers going our way, because every other transfer that we have had, we haven't had a standout performer barring maybe Bruno in the last 5 years. Has there been any other player that we can truly say that okay, this is a transfer that has worked? I don't think we have had
Wout
a
Weghorst.
Wout Weghorst. One could argue he did the job he was asked to do, barring getting the goals he would.
Between Wout Weghorst and Højlund, who will you take?
Yeah, I mean, I would still take Rasmus Højlund. I would, given the 26 goals he has scored in 2 seasons. Well, to be honest, I don't have
Between
any.
Wout Weghorst, between Wout Weghorst and Højlund this season, who will you take?
Wout Weghorst.
Thank you.
I
Please
mean,
continue.
I mean, forgetting the age profile, etc., what they could offer in the future. True, I think this season, Wout Weghorst would have done a better job. I mean, he could have done a better hold-up play and all of that. But yeah, I was coming to the fact that injuries we haven't been lucky with in the last couple of years, whether it was Ten Hag's second season, last season, we have had a lot of players injured at a different point in time. And I don't know whether it is the new manager having a majority of the previous manager's team, or whether it is that every manager that we're signing comes in with a different philosophy and they need different players to succeed. But that clear style of play hasn't emerged for Manchester United. Although Amorim kept saying in his first interview that, you may not see a result winning performance, but you will see the idea of what we want to do. To be very honest, that idea is not clear in my head. We were joking yesterday about the fact that, probably Inter Milan will show us how a back three is supposed to play, but that didn't go down well either. So maybe back three is not something that can succeed at the highest level. We don't know. But hopefully Amorim can prove us wrong. But I think there are so many issues with this club, and all of that sort of peaked in this season, which resulted in where we are today.
No, I feel if we talk about players, we can talk about players all day long and not come to anything. This is something which Amorim also will have to tweak in his philosophy because he may get all the players that he wants. He may get all the players that he wants out, but there's a very good chance not everything will happen during the first window.
Correct.
Which begs the question: is Amorim flexible enough to tweak his approach to get the results that United need or are we still waiting for that perfect play, for the perfect idea to emerge? I understand that he has said that he won't change his approach, that this is the approach which brought him to Manchester United. But coming to Manchester United and succeeding to Manchester United are two separate things, which is something that we have seen from all players. These players seem to think they have made it once they arrive at United. No, the hard work really starts there. So I'm pretty sure that Amorim will see some changes in Amorim's approach as well.
We have to, because I was coming to that point that this season, from a Premier League standpoint, was a write off, maybe by January, February. We didn't expect us to get anything out of this season in terms of Europe qualification, etc. But because it was a write off, he could try to drill that approach that he believes in so much and become a little pragmatic, so to say, in the Europa League, which maybe got us to the finals. But I think next year, when we start the season come August, he will have to think about results. It's no more about are the principles being followed or not. It now becomes about are we getting the right results, because we can't be languishing in the second half of the table in the second in Amorim second year, and that Amorim will have to ensure.
Not to mention that we don't have the safety net of Europe anymore. If we are not performing in Premier League, we would be performing in Europe. We don't have that anymore. We just have two competitions, winning which doesn't mean anything. We have realized because we've been winning those two competitions in the last couple of years, and we are at this point in the season right now.
Yeah, you know what? I really want to go back to those times when our manager would happily play our second squad in the Carabao Cup, not not care about the Carabao Cup, and we as fans don't care about the Carabao Cup, because today it has become a competition where we could win a trophy, right? Because we know the other competitions are difficult for us to achieve. But I really hope we can get into a place where we're competing for the league title, and then Carabao Cup is just something on the side, give the minutes to a few young players and not care about winning it at all. Let's
I
see.
think that's a long way to go.